spells from getting those CC and slows down. Morgana is really strong for keeping Vayne safe as well. We've got the ultimate, the Black Shield, the Q for safety, and like I was saying before, Morgana Snare compiled with that Cocoon from Elise. It's so devastating. Even with the Condemn from Vayne, all three picks so far are picks. They're picks. they can lock somebody down, pin them to a wall, just CC train. The Cocoon, then followed up by the Snare, then followed up by the Condemn. You can't move at all, and you will die before you're able to press buttons.
I mean, the only escape so far we've seen is with that Thresh Lantern. And it's something, don't get me wrong, it's something. Hoping it's enough for Tactical Impact Gaming here. The Gnar and the Caitlyn being hovered over. Caitlyn, not someone we see too much of. I'm not a big fan of her. I know you're pretty partial to her.
Yeah, I'm in love with Caitlyn. She is, if I really had to say it, if I had a main, you know what? If I'm here to win a game and I'm playing AD carry, I'm going to pick Caitlyn because there's no counters to her in lane. You can try and abuse, you can try and get ahead in CS, but I'll digress from Caitlyn. I just love her too much. Tristana, another pick that I really, really like. I like safe AD carries because then you don't have to depend on your team for peel, which I have like some PTSD from solo queue or something because I can't rely on my team for peel. Even when they're there to back me up, it's still a little bit dangerous. So having the ability to jump away with Tristana, use your R to knock back multiple people, not only can you keep yourself safe, you can use the resetting W to go aggressive in team fights, and you can use your R as well to keep your team safe on top of that with the knockback. So I really like the Tristana pickup. Great at taking turrets, scales really well, can kind of scale alongside the Vayne, but there's not the same risk that you have. Now the problem is Tristana's jump takes a few seconds to kind of cast and get you forward, and you could easily be snared or cocooned or CC'd in some way or another while you're actually getting that animation off and you're stuck in place. And I mean, Lux, another perfect example of how you can get messed up by that.
It's not so bad, though. Honestly, none of these are that bad. Generally, with Tristana, yeah, you've got a bit of a wind-up time, but the only thing that's really going to mess you up is if you've got some kind of knockabout or something that's going to push you around. The light binding, the dark binding, the cocoon, all of these will latch down Tristana, but not until she's completed her animation. She is still going to go the distance. Vayne is really the only one who can stop her from jumping midair. That's the only thing that Text Message Breakup really needs to worry about. There's the Vigar, by the way. Can't say I'm too surprised about that, and I just feel terrible.
I actually really like the team comp so far for Tactical Impact Gaming, excuse me. Because like you were saying, if someone does get locked down or the snare or whatever, her animation will kind of actually go off. She'll still be snared, but then the team can kind of keep her safe. Gragas can body slam in, he can pop the ult for disengage, Gnar can just jump on top of people and land those stuns and all those kind of knockbacks and all that good stuff, the displacement, and Thresh has the lantern, he can pop down a box. They have a lot of ways with Event Horizon from Vigar. They've got a lot of ways where like, oh no, someone's caught, let's keep them safe, which is really what kind of Crucial's team comp is built around is, oh look, we caught someone out, let's blow them up. So it's going to be up to Tactical Impact Gaming to not get caught out, because if they do, it's going to be real tricky. I kind of feel like it's the opposite of what we saw from Tactical Impact Gaming last game, where they're like, hey, we don't want full-on team fights. We want to create small picks. We want to roam around the map, split push a bit, get some picks, get some deep wards, all that kind of good stuff. Where in this game, they're kind of like, we just want to fight in like one big area, because we have a lot of just like AoE and kind of zone control almost from their team, where Crucial is a lot based on skill shot trains, basically. That's pretty much what their team is all about, is skill shot trains. Like, just land that CC, and then land more CC, and then by the time the CC's done, your target's dead.
I mean, it works. We saw it happen
yeah.
last game, dark binding after dark binding after dark binding, and often that's just what you need. A light binding is also good, but that 3 seconds from the dark binding is usually more than enough.
And here's the thing, is Lux is so much built around using her combo. Pretty much with Lux, you want to land the Q, you want to land the snare, then you pop the E, you pop the R, and if you do your combo properly, they just explode in this giant explosion, basically, and you can use your passive and get those auto attacks in as well to really combo perfectly and really effectively. But regardless, because Lux is entirely skill shot based, if somebody else can lock people down, like, you doesn't matter if you hit your Q. If Morgana hits her Q, if Elise hits her Cocoon, if Vayne hits her Condemn, even if Renekton just lands a W on somebody, they're stuck in place long enough for Lux to land that combo even when she doesn't hit her Q. So she kind of has a bunch of setup from her team as well, and that's a lot what Lux is about, is landing that big burst combo. She's got so much AoE. If you get caught in a small corridor, if you get stuck in place, the burst is insane. I'm a big fan of Lux, And I feel like this team comp is really strong for her. Now, they don't have that much peel, but if they keep themselves positioned safely and rely on picks before getting aggressive whatsoever, just entirely work off your picks, work off your skill shots, they could put themselves in a really nice place where they can never really have to fight 5v5, which I feel like is more of the advantage for Tactical Impact Gaming, is the fights where they're just kind of everybody's just a big cluster and craziness is going on. Crucial is really depending on them having, for lack of a better word, tactical engages on the side of Tactical Impact Gaming.
I'm just trying to figure out how I feel about this top lane more than anything. Just because we see a lot of Gnar, we know exactly what he's capable of and what he can do. However, it's been a while since we've seen Renekton really show his force up on top. And while Renekton can still be a very strong member of a team, his early game is really his best moment. And if he's able to keep that going, push that into the mid game, great. If not, though, he really just becomes a quick stun bot before he goes down rather quickly. And that's why I'm a little bit apprehensive about this. But this is the same guy who we saw just do absolute amazing work on Riven in the first game of the tournament. If he can play that aggressively again as this Renekton, I think he should do well, and not just well, but really thrive and succeed up in that top lane, despite the fact that he's up against someone who has range damage, and that range damage is also based on his max health.
Yeah, gonna be really tricky. It's gonna be a cool top lane matchup. The nice thing about Renekton, though, is he's really, really strong in lane. He's got gap close, he's got CC, he's got a bit of sustain on top of that as well. He's got the ult to pop offensively or defensively. Renekton's a great champion, really kind of all around. And it's kind of a little bit of a throwback matchup almost, because it's like before the Juggernauts and stuff, these were the kind of the common picks almost, is like Gnar and Renekton were pretty darn strong. And now they kind of come back when everything gets banned out. We've seen Marin from SKT play Renekton a decent amount in Worlds. It's still quite a strong pick, and if you know how to play it properly, it's actually really good at dealing with a lot of these current quote-unquote OP picks. So I really feel like it's going to be Renekton's advantage in lane, but Gnar has better potential in team fights, I feel. Gnar can actually turn team fights based on his play, where Renekton is a little bit more kind of basic in his skill set, in his kit. But that basic kind of kit and skill set means it's harder to screw up as well. So that makes Renekton extremely strong and easy to play, which is something that I'm very fond of, is easy to play champions. A lot of these champions in this game are very hard to play properly, and I'd rather someone play a less effective kit well than a more effective kit, but you're not actually getting the full use out of it. So Renekton, great champion that kind of fits that mold, easy to play, super effective. Gnar on the opposite side, not that easy to play, but can pull off some amazing things if you do it right.
And as we jump on into this game here in our semifinals, I'm still leaning toward Tactical Impact here, just because, I mean, what can you say? Veigar is just so strong at the moment, and you can play your very best. But when it comes down to it, if you're someone like Lux, all you can do is really stay out of range. Once that level 6 comes around, though, I mean, you can shield yourself. It's not going to do too much, though.
And that's the thing, and this is what I'm actually really excited to see, is because basically they have those binding skill shots in bot lane as well as mid lane, and in your jungler, it's going to be really annoying for people like Veigar who don't have the escape. If you see Elise coming from the bushes, Cocoon hits you, you know the binding's going to follow up, or vice versa. They can chain the CC so well, it makes for really, really strong ganks, and Veigar kind of wants to just farm early and stack up that AP. Lux is somewhat similar, but if you have a jungler that comes to help, like Lux is not that strong 1v1, she kind of just wants to farm and scale up well, but when you've got the jungler in the mix to chain that CC together, it just shoots her, skyrockets her up and makes her so, so dangerous. And also with the AoE shield, the slow from Marie plus the damage, the ability to abuse her passive for the extra damage after you land those spells, you can make Lux do a lot of damage and be really, really utility heavy in that mid lane before she actually scales. But once she scales, that's when you get those one-shots. Same thing can be said for Veigar. So I'm really excited to see this mid lane matchup. Another thing I want to point out, Lux has barrier and there's a teleport for Veigar. So Veigar is going to be looking to make plays around the map, and Lux is just going to be looking to survive, basically. I just want to not get blown up by this Veigar, because I know if I'm playing with my team, if I'm playing tactically, again, I keep using that word, it's ingrained in my brain now, but if I'm playing smart on this Lux, then you can just land those Qs and play off of the CC of her team, which is what Lux wants to do. If you don't land a binding, just chill and run away and just be safe, because you got nothing after that. You got no escape, you got nothing. But if anyone lands a binding, blow that stuff up. Really excited to see what we see. Really excited to see what happens in the mid lane right now. I think that barrier will help in lane, but downhill played so well on Lulu before. I can't wait to see his Veigar play.
I think it will be phenomenal. He's not going to be able to just do those kinds of crazy plays we saw him do last game, especially when he just kind of rocketed around wherever he went due to that whimsy. But we will be able to see some good, solid plays coming out as well. All it takes is one good event horizon, and that's it. And the thing is, when you combine that with a Gnar or with the Gragas, who've got 2 large ults that send groups of people in a direction of their choosing, that works so well. I mean, the event horizon not only stuns, but also stops people upon contact. So with Gnar, yeah, you can always slam them into the wall, but you can also slam them into this event horizon. So it makes Gnar just a little bit stronger as well. And I do like how I'm hoping that was at least part of the decision that went behind Veigar, not just like, oh, geez, guys, he's so strong. Let's just pick him and hope we win.
Yeah, that definitely could be either ways. I think both are the right options, to be honest. Renekton coming to lane a little bit early because he opted for the solo jungle start, and here we go.
Oh, there's the first gank. The damage is coming out. So's the flash. Both
of them
going to miss, but so is the light binding. Does not matter though. As the gosh, can't even speak. As the spider just explodes right onto his face. First kill of the game, coming out fast.
I was so worried when Exile missed the cocoon there. I thought possibly Veigar was going to get away, but this is exactly what I was talking about. Is because I've played this matchup a bunch of times before, and this is how you get ahead. This is how you kind of stay safe. Like I was talking about, the ganks are just incredible. And really, at the end of the day, they didn't even hit the skill shots I was talking about, and the gank was still fine. That's how good Exile played that, or how well he played it. Had the red buff, so he just flashed right in there and got those auto attacks, got the slow off. Missed the cocoon, light binding missed as well. Still enough damage, still enough CC. Veigar goes down, and that's huge if you're crucial. That's crucial.
That's crucial if you're crucial. Yeah. Okay, let's.
we gotta stop. We gotta stop. I'm cutting it off. I'll pull the plug. We're good.
I don't want that to be.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Tactical and crucial. We're tearing him out of the dictionary. It's over.
It's done.
No longer words. But here comes Gragas in top lane, trying for some payback.
There's the slice and dice. Both charges are used up. As long as the percent health damage is down there, and you've got 2 sources of it. Oh, Tommy could be in a bit of trouble. There it is. The flash being blown right towards the Exile. Is it enough, though? It could be a turnaround onto Roldiz. He's so low. The bite not connecting, and he is going to make it up while Tommy does fall to the might of Boss on that Gragas. Still a very close fight there, and it just seemed like the venomous bite from the Exile didn't connect because Roldiz made into that bush in time.
Yeah, that was a really well played fight by both sides right there. I thought for sure Otami was dead, but bought himself enough time by chilling in the bush, flashed forward, got the stun, and then was able to run over to his Elise. And that's the thing that you'll see from a lot of high elo players, a lot of pro caliber players, is that they'll be like, you know what? I'm not close enough to my turret. Where's my team? My team is better than the turret right now. Saw Elise coming, communication was made, walked over to him. Unfortunately, still goes down, so it is kind of a 1-for-1 overall in the last few minutes here. But at the end of the day, both sides played that extremely well. Really impressed at the skirmishes so far.
It was close. Exile's had 2 great ganks so far, and while it didn't really work out in his favor up on top, still, it shows that he's getting out this early pressure, and it's working. He's coming around to mid again, possibly so he can get something.
I was going to say, speaking of early pressure, he opted to go for the Sheen first, so Sheen at 5 minutes for Elise. He's going to be doing some big damage right now. He says, screw clearing the jungle, I'm going for clearing champions right now. And hey, not a bad idea.
Not when you're someone like Elise. It's going to be difficult now that Downhill's playing a bit more passively here. Gonna have to rely on a light binding. I don't see it happening though. Here it is, the repel, it's coming down. There's the event horizon, but it's not going to catch anyone. He is held down by the light binding, and it's going to be the Vite to take him out. Now Gragas doing what he can. Boss just needs 1 or 2 more hits. The Venom is Vite though, dealing so much damage with the Sheen on top of it. The Exile now 3-0. doing a massive amount of work so far in this game, and we are only 6.5 minutes in.
This is a phenomenal game so far. Both sides have been playing so well. And exactly what we're talking about, I say this to everybody, it doesn't matter what you buy as long as you're using it properly. And that's exactly what Elise did right there. She's like, I have the Sheen, I've got the burst, I'm going to play around the burst. Wait for the cooldown, wait for that Q to come back. Went in, no fear, took the kill, and that's exactly how you want to play. If she didn't have the Sheen, if she had gone to build up the other side of her jungle item first and pick herself up the Ranger's Trailblazer there instead of her Sheen first, because you can obviously go for either, she wouldn't have been able to get that kill right there. So extremely well played, intelligent jungling by the Exile so far, and I am just thoroughly impressed by both sides' play, but specifically Elise, I mean 3-0 so far, you gotta give up. I mean, that's
you gotta
just
give
wow.
some credit, sure,
Yeah.
but I'm waiting for a tactical impact to come back here. They're still making plays onto her, and while she has damage, she does not have the health. The Event Horizon is not going to hit, but the ult just barely messing up there. But there's the Q, and that is more AP for Downhill, who kind of needs it to push himself back into this game. 1-2 now, not out of it though.
Yeah, that's huge, because not only did they get a kill, which is just great, and you're getting gold for that, but it was a 3-0-0 Elise. They're getting that shutdown gold, and they got it on the Vigar as well. Gonna pick up a dragon on top of that. Whoa, be careful!
Oh no!
Hey!
Those Event Horizons have not been working out too well for him so far, unfortunately.
And that right there is exactly why I'm still chilling with Barrier. I'm not taking TP in mid lane. I'm sorry, because I'm going to make that mistake, I'm going to get snared, and I want to sit there and be able to survive that. I want to be able to cover my own butt. Even though TP has more kind of offensive potential and you can make more plays with it, I just know I'm probably going to get snared eventually by a Lux, just like Lux knows she's probably going to get eventually snared by the Event Horizon or stunned or whatever you want to call it there, and eventually she's going to have to absorb some damage, some burst damage, because both of these are burst assassin-y style kind of. They're backline mages, but they're burst mages. So if you get caught by one stun, you're going to take some major damage, and that barrier might just save your life. Unfortunately, Downhill 3 deaths so far at 8 minutes. Not looking good. He's playing decently, but 3 deaths is too much.
I mean, Downhill's playing okay, but the thing is, I don't see him being that comfortable on this Vigar. The Event Horizon's not where they need to be, and I feel his Lulu was much stronger, as we saw last game. I think it will work out all right for him in the end, just because this is Vigar, and Vigar just ends up getting to that point where he does a phenomenal amount of damage, but once again, getting repelled onto, forced to use that flash. He's safe, he's alive, but he is down a summoner spell, and that just gives even more of an opportunity to the Exile. But it looks like he's making his way up to top lane now, going to deal with this Gnar, finally take Roldiz down. Maybe.
Yeah, gonna just walk up there, just kind of toy with the idea, but decide to back off, pick up his blue buff right there. But yeah, really good job by Windboy there on Lux in mid lane. Once the Event Horizon comes down, he just plays within it, tries to dodge the skill shots from within the Event Horizon without touching the wall, and then by the time it goes away, he's able to just walk forward and doing a good job of playing off of the Exile as well, playing off of Elise, making sure that anytime she does get involved in a fight, there's always some sort of backup nearby. And here comes blue buff Elise, take 2 in top lane.
They're gonna go for it. Roldiz getting close to that Mega Gnar stage. Might have that CC in time. Slice and Dice going to put Otami in range, and that's gonna be a flash from Roldiz, but a flash answered by Exile. Going to get the double stun. Can he make it out? No, there's the repel, and Roldiz is gonna go down. The explosive cast going to do what it can, and it looks like the Exile is in trouble here. Can he make it out? No, he cannot. Boss GG gonna refresh those buffs, get some revenge for his deceased top lane. Maybe pick up a little bit of CS, but it's risky as Otami kind of looking like he wants to play around a bit.
Yeah, he wants those double buffs pretty bad, I think, but gonna have to back off and wait for the minion wave for the time being. The Exile is absolutely fearless with his flashes. He just goes in for those flash cocoons, missed the very first one of the game, but there, picking up a kill. Good job by Boss being in the right place at the right time to secure the counter kill on that, keeps his double buffs as well. The Exile, instead of trying to get out of the Gragas queue, actually just stood in it and did more damage to Gragas. Was like, you know what, I'm dead, who cares? Let me just chunk this fat boy right here. And Tristana gonna be chunking that turret super hard.
And they kind of need this to happen. While we see Tactical Impact winning on the bot lane, they're not doing too hot elsewhere. There's the Event Horizon landing in the mid lane, but that shield refresh is so big. And with the barrier, Downhill is not going to be able to pick up the kill, and he is going to go down himself. Nwinboy now 2-0-3, doing very well, keeping ahead in CS. as well. And I want to talk about that actually, because there's a huge gap up on top lane as well now.
Yeah, and that's, to be honest, to be a little bit expected because Renekton is just so strong in lane. More fighting in mid, though.
Yep, going for that death sense, but not gonna get. Oh no, the buster shot! Perfectly blocked by the Black Shield. The exhaust is down onto text message breakup, and that's going to prevent him from fighting any more than he has to. No casualties yet, though. Not
Wow.
yet.
Yeah, that play kind of scared me a bit there. As someone who plays Tristana, it's definitely very dangerous because you're pretty much relying. You're like, if I don't get this kill, I'm probably going to die, and that's kind of the situation he put himself in. Luckily, he had both summoners up, so he blew those and kind of exchanged for it. But hey, trying to get his team back in this game, they're a little bit down right now, so I don't mind those plays too much. But that said, your Tristana is 22 CS above her counterpart in Vayne. I'd rather just have Tristana push turrets for the time being.
What happened?
But yeah, so that's what happens when Lux gets 3 kills, 3 assists, and a bunch of farm. Is she's able to press one button and you blow up immediately, and that is why I love Lux right there. And nothing you can really do about that if your text message breakup. You just can't be there. And good play by Winboy to know that hey, pop the Lux ult. The cooldown's relatively short. Tristana has no way to escape that right now. Blow her up.
I mean, I still didn't expect that kind of damage.
I did not expect it to kill him. I expected it to chunk him extremely hard and make him very scared, but yeah, just enough damage to pick up the kill right there. But I mean, hey, 303 Lux with 92 farm right now, that's what happens.
It is what happens. It's just... I'm
almost
still,
you don't want to believe it happens.
I need a little bit of time to just...
Yeah, I need to accept it, let it sink in and be like, wow.
Bad case of vapors here.
Yeah.
I need to get over it. Where's my fan?
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Exile making his way back up top, going to get spotted out by that ward. Roldiz is prepared, however, he's got no Mega Gnar form anytime soon. The ult is down anyway, and here's a teleport from downhill to kind of answer. Roldiz dodging as best he can, but it's not enough. But the Event Horizon keeping both members of, oh gosh, why can't I remember the name? Doesn't matter. Oh, Tommy's dead. Keep going, Exile. Oh, I apologize, but it doesn't look like the fight's over as Boss comes in. He's got the ult. There's the Event Horizon as well. It looks like the Exile might be going down here. That Repel not going to save him for very long as Boss GG picks up the kill. The Dark Binding onto text message breakup. But he's not going to be breaking up anytime soon as he gets out of there by a nice death passage. Excuse me.
Great teleport from Downhill. I've been so impressed with Downhill's teleports this entire game, and he's kind of getting back in line right here because the barrier is what's going to keep you safe in those 1v1 fights in mid lane. The teleport's what's going to allow you to help your team out and make those plays, make those kind of counter gank plays, which is extremely strong right there. Even though Nard did go down, it's okay because you're getting your Vigar some kills, you're getting your Gragas some kills, you're getting the rest of your team kind of built up in order to try and protect against that really strong Vector. Yep, there we go. And this is exactly what I was afraid of in Champ Select. As someone who plays Tristana a lot, you have no way to actually dodge spells beside juking or flashing. And when they have skill shots Cocoon, Dark Binding, Light Binding, Condemn, just a big crocodile jumping in your face, you're going to get hit by something and you're going to go down.
People going down the Death Eater looking very low here, but looks like Garvin who's going to go down in his stead. One more Q from Vigar should be enough, but it's going to be Lion who picks up that kill. And the Dragon as well, looking to be a very tantalizing target here. Could the Exile steal it though? He's going in, he is trying for it. The Boss GG is away from Dragon if they so choose. They could lose it, but Exile instead going to repel out as Roldiz goes on in, gets the stun onto Death Eater. The Dragon is going to go down just like Death Eater here. Roldiz still going, but they are not able to get anything else save for a flash from Winboy as he answers with a gigantic laser to the face, going to take out Line and Downhill as well. Exile proving why he is king of the jungle at the moment.
Oh my
Picking up not one but 2 kills, and he is still going. Meanwhile, in the back line, the Boss getting a lot of damage from Winboy. Now that we've seen Exile go down, can Nguyen pick up another kill? Yes, he can. That utility from Lux, just phenomenal. Slows on top of bindings, on top of shields. There is no way to stop her as long as she is out of range. You just gotta be light on those feet, and it did not look like the fat man was.
Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. I'm really just so impressed so far with how Crucial has been playing their comp. I've been talking about it before. With these pick comps, you want to dance around. Oh, we hit a skill shot. Turn, just go hard turn. Run away. hard turn. Lux has been doing it, Elise has been doing it, everybody's been doing it on Crucial Gaming so far. Even though Tactical Impact Gaming has been playing this really well, they've been doing great in these fights. They just keep getting turned on after these skill shots and these aggressive plays. The double kill from Elise right there. The Exile has used every single flash so far this game offensively. He's gone for kills and then just been like, I'll try and get out after that. He's way more focused on getting kills than actually surviving. 4 deaths, which is a lot, but also 7 kills, and the team is leading by about 3k right now, or 300, excuse me. No,
3K, downhill. There he is, locked up once again, courtesy of Nwinboy, and now 2-6-2. Things are not looking too good for him. And as we see the rest of Crucial line up in this mid lane, sure, Otami is low, but just because their tank is down, it doesn't mean they don't have plenty of damage to throw from the backline. The Nwinboy's got crazy range, and Exile has decent range as well. And those Dark Bindings, can't count those out too quickly.
Yeah, there's just way too much to dodge coming out from Crucial Gaming right now. They have so many skill shots that something's going to hit you and they're going to blow you up super hard. It's so tough for Tactical Impact Gaming to actually try and defend turrets, defend anything on the map without putting themselves in danger of getting locked down and blown up. So it's right now, it's kind of up to Crucial to almost like make a mistake and get a position to where they can be locked down by the Event Horizon, engaged on by the Gragas or the Gnar, or land a Thresh Hook or something like that, and Tristana can follow up, because Tristana's farming really well. She's kind of like the hope for this team right now. She's farming well. Once she gets her Infinity Edge, she can actually do some damage, and hopefully they can make something happen. But speaking of farm, Renekton in top lane is like, I mean, even though he's 0-2-3, his score does not represent how strong he is currently. He is literally double Gnar's CS right now at 18 minutes. Like, when you've got 186 CS at 18 minutes, you're doing something right, and it's going to translate into items, which translates into kills, which translates into objectives, which translates into wins. And right now, Otami kind of looking forward to picking up that carry banner for his team yet again.
We'll see, though. We'll see. Remember, Renekton does fall off as the game goes on. And I don't want to be that kind of guy and rip on Otami a bit, but the thing is, when you are a bruiser with as much AoE damage as Renekton already has, throwing on a Tiamat on top of that, it's not hard to get that lane pushing as quickly as possible, or to just pick up every single CS that comes your way. So I'm not too surprised that he's far ahead and keeping up in terms of time. I am a bit surprised just how ridiculously Rolled is outclassed in terms of farm, though.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about in the last game before. When your top laner's ahead and your split pusher is ahead of the enemy split pusher, you want to rely on that strategy, and that's what their kind of pick team is built around. So if Renekton can have that, like you said, the Tiamat there, getting him to push the waves faster, that's exactly what you want. You want Gnar to be stuck in top lane trying to clear waves, where Renekton's already running down to try and join up with the team to create picks on the siege and dive the turret and things like that. So he's already kind of doing it and getting up wards in that jungle as well. So great play so far from Otami. I keep saying this, his score does not represent how much he's contributing to the game so far, but also spending a lot of time just farming. And really, again, shout out to Winboy. There's the hook under the turret, though.
Not gonna follow it up with anything more. The Cocoon going to miss, and then while it's a lot of damage onto the Exile, boss coming in is unable to just dash over the wall and get an explosive casket down, as it would just get blocked by that Black Shield. Very well done, but meanwhile in the mid lane, Crucial just taking objective after objective, and that includes downhill as he gets taken down once more. 2-7-2, but on the bright side, he is farming up that Q as best he can at 101 extra AP right now. And this is a guy who has not been doing well, but I will get back to that as we go to the bot lane. Garvin getting exhausted, but not getting locked up by anything else. There's the counter exhaust. Can they get anything there? There's the soul shackles. They're going on text message breakup, but they are not able to do it. The heal going to possibly save Garvin. Can he make it out there? It looks like he can. There's the explosive shot from long distance, but not gonna get anything. Why is nothing happening?
The longest explosive charge of all time, just lobbing it over everybody. That was hilarious right there. But yeah, really good aggressive play there from Garvin. They're not done.
Them is going out. However, it seems like Crucial realized that the rest of the team is still there, not willing to go too crazy, but with that teleport, they just might coming on in. Here comes Tommy. Might not be able to get text message breakup, but they can definitely get Line, who is left high and dry by the rest of his team. A sacrifice so the AD carry and the jungle get out alive. Oh, final spark not up though, and that is going to leave Winboy kind of sad, as they would be 2 more kills for him.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they did the TP right as Dragon was spawning as well. Elise going to go cover mid from Vigar for the time being, but they should be able to all kind of converge around Dragon there and take it for free right now. Really well played there. And the thing is the thing that I feel is when you've got Garvin and Death Eater in the bot lane, they're playing so aggressive in a 2v3. If you're tactical impact gaming, you kind of have to assume that there's something else going on. Like there's going to be a TP, there's someone waiting in the bushes, something's going on. When they're that aggressive in the 2v3, it's a little bit like either these guys are just straight up crazy or they've got some backup, and it's usually the latter. Sometimes they're just straight up crazy, like we saw Exile kind of get himself out of position there before, get Gragas explosive cast back under the turret, because he was just kind of walking up there for no real reason. He's just kind of just doing his thing. So you can't expect that sometimes, but usually, at least for me, I err on the side of caution and kind of assume, you know what, if these guys are coming after me, they probably have someone waiting around the corner to come help out or waiting in the TP to come help out. But I really like how Renekton's forcing pressure in top lane and then coming to help out his team. He helped Lux grab the mid turret, he helped out in bot lane there. He's starting to transition his lead in top to help for the rest of the team. And Winboy actually has just completed Zhonya's Hourglass. So Luden's, Athene's, and Zhonya's, that makes a really potent combination because the burst is huge, and also there's safety in the Zhonya's.
Oh, Tech Session breakup game taken so low. The ult from Lux not going to hit, but the Event Horizon going to lock up 2 members of Crucial here, but that is not going to stop Otami as he picks up 1. Not able to pick up Boss GG as he was able to CC him out of there, but the Exile is also going to pick up Line on top of that. And while you have 4 members of Crucial up, they look like they're going to go right for this Baron. With someone like Vayne, they do have the damage. Elise as well, not someone to shy away from a fight, but they don't have a real tank here. She can heal up as best she can, but Elise is not the tankiest person here. They've got to be incredibly careful, although it does not look like anyone from TIG are going to be able to make it there in time.
Yeah, really smart play from Crucial right there, and they did a good job of kind of trade tanking the Baron right there. Lux getting good use out of her shields as well. Even though Otami went down, he really kind of played the martyr for his team. Even though he died, it was really to win the team fight. So great job by the back line of Crucial and just everybody, all the females there on the team in Elise, Lux, Morgana, and Vayne did a great job of cleaning up the slack after the fight, taking out Baron, and really making that fight worth something. Because that's the main thing, is like winning fights is alright, but getting objectives after winning fights is the main goal, and they were able to do that for sure. And now they have this Baron buff. They're going to have Renekton splitting in top. They got Vayne, Morgana getting out bot lane. It's going to be really rough if you're tactical impact gaming to find the fight that you're looking for. That last bit was kind of the last almost fair fight, I guess, quote unquote fair, that you're going to find for the time being.
I think picks are going to be here. And I mean, I say this because it's really the only option. They need to find someone alone. They've got to get either that Death Sense or the Event Horizon down. They can't have stuff like this happening. Downhill actually ends up surviving thanks to the the Dark Passage coming out from Thresh. It's not a lot of shield, but it's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough to keep you safe.
The face of the mountain there from Thresh alongside the Negatron cloak from Vigar was probably what allowed them to stay alive right there, or else they might have gone down. And also, it's one of those things where you kind of think about it. If Lux, instead of going Lucidity Boots, instead of going Zhonya's, has gone pure damage, that probably would have killed them.
Oh, Boss GG. Trying to make a play on bot, but it's very difficult when you're against 4 members of a very fed team. And now is going to cost him the tower. The Dark Binding is actually going to land on Tech Session break him. He is not able to pick up the kill onto the Exile as well. And now Line forced to flash out of there as Roldis comes in trying to get something, but he is instead going to get blown up himself. Soul Shackles onto only 1 member of TIG, but the exhaust is onto Line as well. Can we see a Dark Binding come out? Death Eater going to hit a minion. Still pretty good with that aim, but not exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, good job using the Baron buff really well. They pushed in mid lane and then grouped around top and forced that in. Good job creating pressure elsewhere on the map and then forcing an objective once that pressure is really manifested itself elsewhere. Really smart play by Crucial. They're going to reward themselves with an inhibitor as well as a second one, it looks like, and they might even rotate to top for more, but I think they're going to play it safe and just back out for right now. They're all extremely rich.
They picked up 3 towers and 2 inhibitors from that, as well as a plethora of kills. They are feeling incredibly satisfied and Crucial. Yes, they could stick around, but like you said, they really
why?
just don't need. Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah,
They're ahead.
yeah.
They're winning. They don't need to take these risks, and they're saying, no, we are not even going to waste our time doing them.
And the thing now is that they have the bot lane inhibitor, the mid lane inhibitor down. Everybody can just group up top, and even if they don't force a fight, even if they just stand there for the next 3 minutes, everybody from Tactical Impact Gaming is going to be forced to clear bot, they're going to be forced to clear mid, and they're not going to be able to defend that turret. All they have to do is just slowly march up the top lane, get some wards in the jungle so you're not flanked, and just slowly end the game right now. You've got those super minions pushing, and they're using them very well currently.
With the only available option being that top lane tower and inhibitor in terms of objectives. Sure, they could go right down mid and push for the Nexus, but it would not be as safe as if they were to go right for top.
Wow, what confident play right there from both Morgana as well as Gragas. Morgana timing the Black Shield perfectly, Gragas just juking the Q perfectly as well.
Oh no, the rest of the team's not there. Never mind, I thought something big was happening. Oh, Tommy, though, out of position here, as he is the only one of his team almost getting hit right into that Event Horizon wall, but Death Eater showing up in the nick of time, getting that Black Shield down. He's got to stay safe. Going to use his ultimate, though, and he might need that in that next fight, though he has proven himself to be rather tanky even without it.
They're going to be trying to push this in, just wait for the wave. This is where I was talking about before, where they can just stall and they can just relax because they got bot pushing, they got mid pushing. As long as you just wait, eventually someone from Tactical Impact Gaming is going to be forced to go defend, and then you've got the numbers advantage to take the turret, to force a fight, whatever you want to do.
Dragon is up. This will be Dragon number 2 for Crucial if they chose to get not really a high impact Dragon. It's something, and it would be kind of nice having that extra damage onto buildings and structures, but I would not waste my time with that at the moment. I think there's a pretty nice inhibitor waiting right here for them, and they can take it at their leisure, although the Event Horizon is going to lock up Death Eater. No play is going to be made off of it, though.
Yeah, they just want to relax. That could have been dangerous, and that might have been the opportunity for Tactical Impact Gaming to force something. Because as you can see, Gnar is being kind of put on defense duty right now, and Gnar can't exactly wave clear that fast. They're going to be forced to send somebody else back, and that's when the turret opens up for a free kill there for Crucial.
I mean, they're slowly getting their picks and their pokes down onto it. Not too much, but now, like you said, the Dark Binding is there as well as Gnar being way out of the fight. But here it is anyway. They're getting locked up, blown up before you can even soul shackled. But instantly we see Lion go down. Boss incredibly low. So is Downfall, and he's going to get taken down. So is Boss. Oh, Tommy is just going right through this tower. And while O'Garvin looking to get that kill onto Roldis, he is not going to be able to. But it is not necessary as the game ends. Both towers falling in the mid lane, but this one is going right on over to Crucial. They will make it into the finals. Very, very secure there, but my gosh.
Yeah, that game was extremely well played by Crucial right there. Their comp was extremely annoying as well, with all of those skill shots being thrown out, but they played it really, really strong. 9-0-12 for Winboy there in mid on Lux, and the ults from Lux were so confident that he was throwing the Q and then popping the ult immediately before the Q ever landed. It was really, really confident play coming out from specifically Winboy, the Exile, and Tommy as well. Those guys are just willing to put themselves in the fire, but I think that's partially why Winboy picked up that Zhonya's there as well to keep himself safe. So really strong play from Crucial. Tactical Impact Gaming going to be playing for our third place prize there in the third place game. So they are still going to be playing one more game, going for some cool prizes, but Crucial is going to be moving on into the grand finals, and we're going to be having that game here streamed very shortly. My name is Streetball, casting alongside Earthkey. We are the Random Championship Series. Our website is randomcs.com. We host weekly tournaments. They're all free to enter, so please check out our website, randomcs.com. Click the Register tab, click League of Legends, and all of our tournaments will be available for you to sign up for and all that kind of cool stuff. All the VODs are available as well. Go to randomcs.com. Go to Tournaments, League of Legends, and all the VODs are available on that if you want to rewatch or if you missed something, all that kind of cool stuff. We'll be right back with our Grand Championship match. See you guys shortly.
has it been since the pain? I ran the fields with anger, shed my blood to pledge a war. Now I walk this earth with meaning, and I awaken to a brand new hope, one that cannot be destroyed. Forget my battles, they are long gone now. I am under the spell of the angel's sound, the voice that called me in another life. Now I can hear
tyrant that you should trust, and you should let me run your life. I do know what is best for you.
Feel so free, just believe we can come alive. We're so far from the ground, but I'm not looking down. Feel the warmth of the breeze rushing over me. Now we're soaring high, reach and touch the sky.
don't understand what they want from me. They take my hands, washing them in dirty water. Try to find what's right in a distant place. So far away, the silence fills my heart with empty space. But now I'm sure of where I'll go from here. And tensions rise, they push me to divert my vision. But I will break the ceiling and the walls that kept me in for all this time. And all the reasons that I cannot find.
And welcome back to JoJo's Porolympics, partnered Twitch streamer Joanna Vark's official community tournament, brought to you by the Random Championship Series. We are in our grand finals right now. My name is Streetbull, casting alongside Earthkey. Like I said, grand finals, blue side, the team that we actually watched in the first game of the day at the very beginning of the bracket. It's Crucial against the red side. Something's wrong here. So it should be a great game. We've seen some really top tier play coming up from Crucial so far. Haven't yet to watch a game from Something's Wrong here, but for them making it to the finals, we can expect something pretty exciting coming from them.
I mean, they've obviously done something right, despite what their name says. But we'll see as we get into it. This is also the first game where you've seen Kindred banned out. And, I mean, she hasn't been around for too long. People still aren't that comfortable playing against her. But people, as far as I've seen, generally aren't too comfortable playing her either. So I'm surprised to see it taken out here. But, I mean, this is the final, so you don't want anything that's kind of going to screw things up for you. However, we still see Vigar available. GP still on the table, but there are 2 bans left.
That's the interesting thing about these bans, is the fact that pretty much you're going to leave something on the table no matter what you decide to do. And so far, it looks like mostly target bans, to be honest. They don't want the Exile on that Elise. He was just dominant in the game before. They don't want Tommy on that Riven. And Darius just kind of a standard ban. A little bit more target-oriented as well there, it seems. We haven't seen Something's Wrong here play yet, but I'm assuming that they do play that Aurelia, possibly the Kindred. Tom Kench seems like a standard ban, but definitely I feel like that Aurelia might be something that their top laner was playing before to great success, and you kind of want to ban out those top laners. I guess they're more comfortable playing against something like a Fiora. And again, looks like they're probably going to be picking up their jungle first pick. Not too shabby, but kind of a weird jungle. They've been the games we've watched so far from Crucial, they've first picked Zac in jungle, which first picking that's not a bad idea, but it's definitely something that's not really a priority pick. The Elise the next game, which made more sense, definitely a priority pick, being banned in this game by the side of Something's Wrong here. But to pick up the Nunu first pick is a little bit interesting. And they go back to the Zac. They go back to the Zac. Yeah, I think that the Exile is probably going to be a little bit better on a champion that has that form of gap close. He's got a playmaking style champion, and I feel like Nunu is a little bit too much about just kind of running around and being annoying. The Exile is a straight up playmaker. He flashed aggressively for those cocoons on Elise last game so much, and he had really good elastic slingshots in the first game as Zac, so look for him to make some great ganks early.
Let's see who he's up against, though.
Oh, we forgot about the Mord.
The Mord has been left up. The thing is, last time we called for something like the Vigar being available. Last time that was picked up, it did not end up working out. It, while Downhill did the best he could in the mid lane, he just got shut down time and time again. So we might see the same thing here, despite how powerful Mordekaiser is. Now, the hover onto Fiora, another champion left out. There's just so many at the moment that are so strong and you need to worry about. I would not be surprised to see someone like Otami playing him in the top lane, because we saw the Riven, and that was phenomenal. The Renekton also kind of just bashed people around in that top lane, and so while he's not exactly as tanky, he does crazy amounts of damage. So this suits Otami just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Fiora's a reasonably skill-based champion. Like, you can make some amazing plays on her if you know what you're doing. I know Tommy is kind of that carry-centric top laner, and it looks like we're going to have Winboy on Lux again. No deaths in the previous game. It might be another Lux versus Vigar matchup, which, hey, he's saying, you know what, I just played that last game. I got great practice on it, didn't die the entire game, got tons of kills for my team, tons of assists. I'm liking the picks so far for Crucial. They're very kind of picked around what their team is good at. Each individual player has certain strengths, and I also like the fact that Lux is going to be good for kiting that Mordekaiser, because Mordekaiser's really only downfall is the fact that he can't actually gap close, but if he touches you, that third strike is going to make you dead real quick. So the ability to lock him down, keep him away from the team is probably going to help, but with Veigar and Mordekaiser on one team and potentially the Olaf, this is going to be a very scary team to contend with.
Lee Sin still also very scary. Honestly, I felt a bit more of a chill running down my spine when I saw the Olaf there, because that's so many champs who are just so terrifying to deal with. Oh, here's your Caitlyn.
Yeah,
I doubt that's gonna stick.
I was gonna say, yeah, they hovered last time and didn't go for it, but I would love to see that Caitlyn. I'm a huge fan of Caitlyn. People talk about, yeah, she doesn't have that much damage, but I feel like she doesn't have much kind of like burst up front damage, but she's so good at poking, you can whittle people down, and she's also so safe. She makes up for it in other ways. And if they have the Lux Morgana combo again, coupled with the Jinx traps, that would be just horrible to deal with. And I feel like that's probably what they're going to go for. I would be surprised if they do go for that for the Kha'Zix and Urgot. I would expect them to stick back with what they were going with before. The Jinx Morgana, I feel like would work out well. The Urgot's not a bad pick, but I think Jinx Morgana, yeah, stick with that.
Your go-to pick.
You're good with that, yeah. And Garvin has been playing these kind of hyper carry champions like Vayne and things like that. So I think Jinx is right along that same kind of wheelhouse. Plus you've got the Black Shield from Morgana, and then you've got the W, just the standard shield coming out from Lux as well. Plus, of course, the double snare. You can throw your traps on top of that. Morgana and Jinx is very, very devastating in lane. That said, the Mordekaiser as well as the Alistar can jump on them and possibly hurt them really badly. They've got a lot of burst, but if they're able to kite them and keep them at distance, then Jinx Morgana is going to run through these guys.
There's the final pick. Going to be Shen on top lane facing off against Otami on that Fiora. Not a bad pick, but I'm still a little bit hesitant about it.
I actually quite like it because it kind of protects your Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser has to walk into danger in order to be effective. So having that Shen ult on top of him, plus potentially just maybe like a flash taunt from Shen or taunt flash, whatever you want to do there, to create picks for his team. Alistar can land the Pulverize on top of that, Event Horizon down on top of that. It gives time for Mordekaiser to walk up and actually do his damage, because that's the problem with Mordekaiser, is it's unsafe to walk forward and actually be in range to do that damage. But if his team provides him a little bit of protection, a little bit of kind of front line, or whether it's peel, whatever the case may be, allowing him time to get that third auto attack off, to get more damage off, Mordekaiser can just wreck the entire team. So I don't mind kind of building around the Mordekaiser here in this pick. I feel like the Veigar and the Mord will provide enough damage for your team. And then Lee Sin, usually you pick up the Warrior enchant as well, so he's got some decent damage on top of that. So I kind of like how they're playing around the Veigar and the Mordekaiser. Both of them scale extremely well.
The one thing that we don't really see on the side of Something's Wrong is that they don't have a true initiation. You've got Dark Bindings, you've got Light Bindings, you've got Elastic Slingshot on the side of excuse me, of Crucial. But I mean, what do you really have on Something's Wrong? You've got the Lee Sin Q, and while if you're really good, you can also go in as that Alistar. But, I mean, those are both, I feel they're a bit shakier. Now, on top of the Lee Sin or the Alistar, you do have the Shen teleport in with that ultimate. And that's what we see, that's why we saw, some Shen supports in games today. While he was on the bot lane rather than top, having the ability to just say, oh, we could suddenly have a guy coming in, you should probably be afraid of that, is a big deal. And with someone like Lee Sin, who can leave that mark on a champion for quite a while before going in, that does give Miru enough time to get the cast off, warp into where he needs to be just as Lee Sin goes in with that Q. And suddenly, not only do you have the Lee Sin in your face, but you've got the Shen as well. And that taunt is a lot harder to mess up when you are right in front of someone.
Yeah, very true. Like you said, they are lacking a bit of engage. I feel like they're going to have to rely on a flash taunt, a well-placed Lee Sin Q that turns into an insect, or potentially a flash pulverize there from Alistar, because they do have a reasonably squishy backline, but that Morgana is just so helpful, because oh no, here comes Shen, he's getting close, he might do a flash taunt, pop up that black shield. Same thing with Alistar, it'll keep your team safe. Same thing with the Event Horizon. They have a lot of ways to try and catch people, But Crucial has a lot of ways to kind of keep themselves safe. Plus, they're a very backline-oriented team. Obviously, their front line is going to be Fiora as well as Zac. Fiora's got the ability with the riposte to kind of stop a spell, and Zac is just super tanky, and he's got his passive to keep himself alive. And then if you've got the AoE damage and the CC on top of that coming from Morgana, Lux, and Jinx, they can blow them up before they decide if something's wrong here, actually is ever able to get close to them in team fights. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they play these fights. Each team could theoretically catch each other out reasonably easily, and if one person does get caught out, there's a lot of ways they can blow them up. But as we're getting into our delay here, I want to remind you all that we are the Random Championship Series. Our website is randomcs.com. And I'd like to give a thank you and a shout out to everyone who participates in all of our events and tournaments, who helps behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff. Because it's definitely not just me and Earthkey. There's tons of people behind the scenes that are making this stuff run and keeping everything kind of smooth and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for supporting us. And if you'd like to contribute, please go to randomcs.com. If you scroll to the bottom of the page and click on the crowdfunding button, you'll be taken to our Patreon page where you can find out about more awesome cross-promotional sponsorship opportunities. Basically, you give us something, we give you something, everybody's happy, we're all just working together to benefit and kind of make everybody the best they can be. So head over to our website, randomcs.com, scroll down, click on that crowdfunding button, and see what kind of cool opportunities are available. So thank you guys so much for watching, for playing, for listening. We are jumping into our grand final matchup right now of the JoJo's Porolympics. On the blue side, we have Team Crucial against the red side, Something's Wrong Here. My name is Streetball, casting alongside Earthkey, and we are in the loading screen right about to get into the action of this amazing high-class, high-elo game.
I'm pumped. I'm really, really pumped. I'm scared of this mid lane because it's just... I am hoping it's not just a repeat of what we saw last game.
Yeah, redo.
But...
and that's the same thing, exactly. It's the TP Vigar, so we'll see if Winboy is able to abuse the barrier, because I feel like he did a really good job of that in lane, about making it so like, hey, I don't have the teleport to follow you, but I'm going to 1v1 you as much as possible, because that's where I have the advantage. So really good job using the barrier properly. We'll see how Zhao Longsung can use his teleports, because in the last game downhill, even though he died in lane, his teleports were really, really strong. So we'll see if mid laners are kind of catching on to the old top laner style of getting those good teleports in. It's a lot trickier to do, but if you can pull it off, it's very, very devastating, especially with the long range and long kind of control area of the event horizon from Vigar. But going to be really exciting. I'm really excited to see Lee Sin early, because he's such a strong early game jungler, and Exile plays so aggressive in the early game. I think there's going to be a lot of action, not in the jungle, but with junglers in the lanes, whether it's mid lane, whether it's bot lane, top lane, whatever it is. I feel like the junglers are going to find someone, and they're going to get some fights in real early.
The problem is I don't see the Exile winning those fights early on. Someone like Elise, who's got a good amount of damage early on. Zac, not exactly his strong suit. He's great at initiating. He's great at CCing people. The damage department is not really his thing, though. And while we saw the Exile make some crazy plays last time in terms of just how quickly he could blow people up, this time around it's going to be different. And honestly, I think if there were a 2v2 situation in that mid lane, we would actually see Something's Wrong Here coming out on top.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I think Lee Sin is a perfect pick to deal with this, especially against the playstyle of Exile. Because Exile, like I keep saying, is so aggressive early, but against a Lee Sin, you have to be real careful, because like you said, he can 1v1 you in the jungle, and that's what I expect Huni to do here, is kind of just find Zac, follow him around, and abuse him for any small mistakes he makes. Lee Sin is so strong in those 1v1 duels, especially early in the game like this. Great mobility, good sustain, and jungle clear as well. He's really, really good at getting in and getting out of tricky situations. With Zac, it's a little bit more either I'm in or I'm out. He's stronger when he gets a little bit tankier as the game goes on, and this right now is where Lee Sin shines. So I'm really excited to see if Exile plays as aggressive as he was before and just kind of says, screw it, this is what I do, or if he kind of backs off for a bit, waits until he can kind of outscale Lee and help more when team phase rolls around.
The thing is, I think we are going to see him still play aggressively. He's just going to, try and do what he can a little bit faster than Lee. And as Zac, you're not really ever going to win that fight. But if you have a decent understanding of the way Lee Sin works, where he's going to be at what times, you should be able to go to other lanes that might also need your help in the interim. And hopefully that's what's going to happen. But we'll just have to wait and see as the match gets underway. Minions have spawned. We are getting on into it. And it looks like once again we're doing
Quadra start.
Although I think Hunie's just gonna.
Oh, actually,
smite
no.
him.
They're doing. Yeah, they're doing.
There
Yeah. Here,
There.
I think his bot lane was like, no, go away, get out of here. This is our Gromp over here, and he's like, what? Oh, we're doing. Oh, okay, my bad. So they kind of realized what they were doing, and then did the double start there. So good call, kind of backing off there, because that is the proper way to do it. Is have your bot lane take one camp, and then have the top and jungle take the other. But yeah, like what you're talking about is if they can know where Lee Sin is, it really helps out Zac. I feel like vision is going to play a big part in how the kind of early jungle matchup plays out. I feel like if they know where Lee Sin is, Zac can either avoid him or have favorable engages and things like that, where if Lee Sin finds out where Zac is, then he's probably going to go down or get chunked out and pushed back. Wow, good engage by Alistar so far.
Yep, but the denial by that Dark Binding is too much. In the end, you see Alistar walking away, taking more damage. Not going to mean too much since you've got that double Targons lane. Very common when you're a melee support with that Mordekaiser. And on top of that, Alistar's got his own heal. He's got his Triumphant War. He's perfectly fine with these kinds of exchanges.
You're absolutely right there. So it's exactly what Alistar and Mordekaiser want to do. They're fine with taking a trade, whether it's even or even if they get slightly behind in the trade, that's okay, because they have the sustain to jump back up. And let's see if they can take advantage of that. Excuse me, in bot lane right now. They're doing a good job of zoning, but Jinx is doing a good job of CSing currently, which is kind of one of the things that Mordekaiser's not so great at, because he has to walk up into poke range in order to last hit, where Jinx can just chill on the back line right there.
Oh, both.
Sorry, jumping back in here. Unfortunately, Skype giving us the 4-hour limit on video, so we'll hopefully be able to get our cams back up here right now. But in the top lane, here's the engage.
Yeah, there it is. The elastic slingshot cutting the taunt in half. The flash is going to have to be burned, but Otami is going in. Is he going to get the kill before he goes down? Yes, he is. First blood going over, but now we see Hunie up there as well. Not enough health to really fight the Exile, but in the end, it's actually going to deny, possibly deny this Krug scamp. Exile not going to stick around. I feel this would be the one time you'd actually want to go fight Lee Sin as Zac, though.
Yeah, this would be the scenario, but just going to play it safe and just back off. He's alright with the 1-1 trade. I feel like it's more beneficial for Fiora to get that kill than it is for Shen. I feel like Fiora can snowball, and Shen kind of doesn't have that same snowball potential. He's much more of a supporty sort of tank, where Fiora can just straight up hard carry games.
Well, it's not just that. It's also the fact that you've got an assist onto the Exile as well. You're not only getting that gold onto Fiora, but you're getting a little bit extra onto the jungle. Whenever you pick up those kinds of first blood trades up in the top lane, the side that gets the assist is generally the one that's going to come ahead, just because they're getting a bit more gold in these situations.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and the assist gold is created gold as well. It's gold that didn't exist before, so if you do get that assist, you're basically creating more gold than ever was there before, which is something that's extremely handy to do in this game, because you want as much gold as possible, because you want as much items as possible when you're getting involved in these fights. And so far, again, defensive start for Shen, offensive offensive start. Jeez, yeah, I'm doing terrible.
We've been here a while, I know.
We had a long delay between the games. We're trying to get back in here, but yeah. So Otami going in there, and here comes Zac yet again.
Once again, Fiora getting taken pretty low, but now that Zac has joined the fight, they are just going on him, getting those passive procs. Could it be enough to repose? Not enough. Exile going to go down here. Get the passive bone, and once again, Otami is going to go down. And I can't say it's really worth it, especially since the Exile's going to get hit by that tower. Or it doesn't even matter. Minions. It's an execute, sure, and that's not bad, but I don't know. Next time around, for some reason, it feels a little bit worse, especially because Hunie is taking advantage of it and going right for that dragon.
Yeah, so exactly like you called it, they're like, yeah, Exile is not going to play passive. He's going to go for ganks over and over again. He's going to camp Tommy's lane and try and get his top laner ahead, but good job in trading back these kills. It's so strong, and it looks like they're just going to grab this dragon for free right here. First dragon in the game, not the biggest thing in the world, but at the end of the day, it's going to add up for later, and that's stuff that you want to take when you can. So good call coming out from Something's Wrong here, knowing they had the time. Whoa! Alt stop and Lee Sin's back.
Not gonna end him though, which is a-okay in Hunie's book. A bit of a letdown, but nothing too big.
Yeah, and Lee Sin popping back there, he's gonna be okay. But as you mentioned before, even though Zac has died, he's got those 2 assists, so he's got a little bit of extra gold in his pocket. Lee Sin not able to fully complete his Stalker's Blade yet, still sitting on his long swords and all that good stuff. But he'll be back on the map reasonably quick, and that attack damage is gonna help him out, kind of making those plays, as he's gonna hopefully try and get some plays going on the map. Tommy taking lots of minion damage right now.
Yeah, this isn't really the fight you want, especially now that Shen's come back with those ninja Tommy. Not only is he a bit faster, but he's also reducing a fair amount of the damage that Otami's throwing his way up there. He's had 2 deaths, more than enough. Honestly, though, I want to focus on bot lane, because now that Brachiosaurus has hit level 6, this is when the fun times start. Well, this isn't when the fun times start, but it helps to get them going.
Yeah.
Once you get that AD carry ghost, things just die so quickly. And someone like Jinx, who I believe retains her minigun effect while she is in that ghostly state, just does so much. There's the pulverized headbutt combo coming in. Not really going to end up killing O'Garvin, but look, the creeping death combined with that upfront burst damage is more than enough to drop him down to about half HP. Sure, he's recovering it, but now that Huni's down there as well, this could be the first kill that does not happen up in top lane.
Yeah, he came down just a second late, though. They didn't have enough minions left there with the wave to actually get a good dive, so they need to push this wave, and Death Eater and Garvin are trying to back in time. Beautiful!
Oh, that's big! Oh no, but he's got the ultimate. Now that Huni's coming in from the back, going to get that flash off. The ultimate! It does not pick up the Alistar, but it is going to help Seal on Huni, and with the Soul Shackles as well, that's a double kill for O'Garvin, but with the teleport coming down from Otami, it looks like they're going to give chase to reverse scale. Now we see Zhao coming in from the mid lane. The Event Horizon is going to keep him safe, but with Exile around, it might not be over yet. Here comes the Elastic String Shot going in, but the headbutt to dodge. Is it enough, though? The Flash Shen ultimate finally getting him out of there, but the reverse scale, I mean, quite a journey from the bot lane upriver to mid.
Yeah, and I like how Jinx just chilled in the bot there to push the wave in and get some extra CS, but extremely calculated play coming from the bot lane of Crucial right there. Death Eater and O'Garvin kind of knowing, hey, we need to get out of here, but these guys are going to try and dive us. The way they're pushing in, you know that Lee Sin's probably around there. You kind of have like a sixth sense, like, hey, there's probably someone waiting in the bushes to come kill us, so they tried to back, but baited the back, waited until Alistar got just close enough to get into turret range, locked him down there. They used the snare, they used the traps, Alistar pops the ultimate, and then Lee Sin goes in, and he's the one tanking the turret, and he is not tanky at all right now, pretty much built pure damage because he wants to go that warrior enchant first on his jungle item there. Huge damage from Vygar, though.
Yeah, and that's what happens. This is what happens when the Event Horizon lands. Last match when we were seeing Downhill send them out, they weren't directly on top of the Lux. They weren't directly on Windboy's face. Instead, they were more of it in the center. And while we see a good amount of damage coming down that barrier, helping to keep him alive, and that's going to be a flash out of Zhao Longson. Meanwhile, up on top, Otami getting chased down by the his top lane combo, doing what he can to stay alive. He's making it towards mid lane. Isn't enough? No, the Exile going to miss the ultimate initially, but it's going to work out in the end, and now it's Miru in trouble. The Event Horizon going to stop the Exile mid-jump, but that is not going to help Hune, who is already dead.
Yeah, just barely surviving right there is Miru, and that's definitely going to be good for him to keep himself alive. More deaths are not that great because each time he's been dying, he's been getting kills back, so it means that pretty much the gold that he's been not worth after he dies there is getting reset and going back in there. Lux falling a little bit behind to Vygar in mid lane there, but the barrier going to keep her alive for the time being, and she's going for her Athene setup again, so even though that's mostly just for the CDR and as well, of course, the CDR and the mana regen, having the magic resistance on top of that will help keep her alive against the Vygar, and of course Mordekaiser doing a decent amount of magic damage as well.
I mean, this is what Mordekaiser does, though. You've got a fair bit of scaling with AD, but when it comes down to it, AP also just works out so well for you. And as we're seeing right now, going for that Rylai's is such a good idea, especially since it works out nicely once you pick up that Dragon Ghost as well, or honestly just a ghost from anyone. Having that extra Rylai's proc kind of helps to offset Mordekaiser's weakness of just not being able to catch up to anyone.
Yeah, and here's Zach actually trying to look to get some damage on Lee Sin, but Lee was able to grab the Scuttle Crab and bail, which is important because Dragon is up in 40 seconds. Otami in the top lane has been making a lot of kind of questionable trades because he keeps going in when there's so many enemy minions, but judging by the CS, I feel like what he's kind of doing is like sacrificing his own health in order to make it so that Shen is focusing Fiora instead of last hitting the minions. He's kind of trading HP for farm, basically, and at the end of the day, as long as you don't die, you will come out ahead if you keep doing that.
I mean, he's 20 CS up right now. It's working out okay, and while it's ended up in some questionable situations with him in the past, it's all right for the time being.
Yeah, and he's definitely kind of calmed down a bit. You can tell that Exile and Tommy kind of relaxed a bit after that. They're like, hey, you know what? We can probably win this game if we just chill. We don't need to force things, which is really what they were doing before. They forced that turret dive, and it gave Shen that double kill. And stuff like that is what's going to lose you the game. Good engage.
Good engage, but it's just a denial of action down there. You've got the Dark Binding on top of the traps, but a quick answer from Alistar kind of just ends the whole thing.
Yeah, I really feel like Death Eater's Morgana snares have been pretty much perfect this entire game. Anytime Alistar does get the knock-up on his carry, Morgana makes sure to bind the Mordekaiser, so that it doesn't matter because Alistar doesn't do the damage. He's just the CC. The actual AD carrier, I guess, quote-unquote AD carry, and Mordekaiser is the one that actually does the damage. So if you keep him away from your carry, it doesn't matter if Alistar gets a great headbutt pulverize combo. It doesn't matter at all because you've blocked their damage, you've kept their damage away from your carry, and at the end of the day, that'll win you those trades.
Now that Brachiosaurus is pretty low, it's looking a bit grim for him. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, a bit more of poke coming out. I expected a bit more of an all-in from Xiaolong Sun there, but that's alright. Not every shot has to be a killing blow. I'm waiting for bot lane, though. I'm waiting for the Exile to finish roaming down there after finishing the Wraiths. Possibly pick something up, but with Morgana gone, it's very unlikely, actually.
Yeah, Jinx just farming right now, and I expect her to just push out the lane and then try to set up vision around Dragon, because I feel like that's what both teams are kind of looking towards right now. They do have the TP up on Fiora, and both TPs are down for something's wrong here, so this would be the opportune time, and you see the on-the-way ping, I think that was from Morgana, so she's probably saying, hey, I'm going to go set up wards around Dragon right now. Zach, you go up to kill wolves or whatever you need to do. Fiora kind of clear out top lane, and we're all going to get set up in the next 20-30 seconds. We're going to try and make this dragon fight happen.
Exile hesitating a bit there, but now it does look like he's going down towards the bomb. Meanwhile, up in top, some more trades coming out, and actually the ult coming out from Fiora, going for those vital spots, but unable to really get them. There's one left. There it is. The healing circle is going down. Otami is going to go for it. One more auto attack through the feint, and that is more than enough. Otami finally back to his roots of just slaughtering top laners through and through.
And that's exactly what I want to see at Tommy. He kind of realized, hey, I've died twice in this game. That's not cool right now. Let's just chill for a bit. I'll gain a CS lead, and then when I have the item spike, then I'll fight. He had the Black Cleaver plus a longsword, and Shen was not finished grabbing. I mean, he's only sitting on the fire right now, the Bami's Cinder, as well as, of course, a Cloth Armor. He's going to try and build himself into that Sunfire, but right now he's sitting on bits and pieces where a full Black Cleaver done by Fiora.
Oh, this is a scary situation. There's the headbutt pulverize into the Jinx. The ult is down. Can they get the damage they need? No, they can't. Brachiosaurus is forced off, but so is Ogarvin. Meanwhile, Xiaolong Sun going to get the kill on Deluxe, but now that Otami is down here in the fray, can she pick up reverse scaling? Yes, she can. One quick Q is all she needs, but with Veigar down here, I don't think Otami is going to want to continue fighting. CUNY waiting off to the side. Otami, this is a bit risky. Oh, look at that damage coming out.
Yeah, getting chunked reasonably hard right there, and then it's going to be something's wrong here, turning to the Dragon and try and pull that off. They do still have their jungler, where the same cannot be said for Crucial, so this should be free, and yep, good job by Crucial just backing off and letting them relax. But as we were talking about before, level 6 Mordekaiser, we got the Dragon going on, and he's going to be walking down to bot lane to push by himself, it looks like. So not the best use of the Dragon ever, but I mean, hey, they won the fight, they got the Dragon, they're going to take what they can get, and then go back and spend their money, because they still are behind in gold currently. And actually I just realized there's no towers taken in the game so far. At 16 minutes in, still every single turret up, and it just shows how well the teams have been wave clearing.
It's a slower game than what we've been used to, but I mean, that's okay. Something's wrong. They kind of want to wait for the late game. They want Jinx to build up just a bit more so they can steal her for their own. And on top of that, the Veigar, already at about 120 extra AP at 16 minutes in. It's a little bit ridiculous, just a little bit, having Free Zanya's worth of AP for
And that-
basically nothing.
That's exactly what Vygar's so good at, is if you don't kind of shut him down early, which is what we saw in the previous game, in the previous Lux versus Vygar matchup, if you don't shut him down early, he's going to scale really well and scale faster than Lux will. Even though Lux scales great, she's awesome, and she's got good CC and all that cool stuff, Vygar kind of has all of that as well, and he'll actually scale a little bit harder than that Lux. So you got to kind of keep him in check, which they did last game with that Elise, but so much top lane focus here for Crucial, and even though they do have Otami ahead, unfortunately he hasn't been able to make too many plays just yet. Great snare from Lux, keeping herself safe.
Just barely, but I mean, that's all that really matters. As long as you're able to get it off at some point, you're good.
Yeah, that Q is everything for Lux. If she misses it, she's pretty much dead. If she hits it, you're probably dead.
Now, 0-2-1 on Huni so far. Not able to really get out that early game power that Lee Sin is so well known for. And now he's kind of had to fall back to just being the team's initiator. And you know what? That's fine. As long as you're still able to do something as Lee Sin, you are still part of the team. You are still impacting things. And, you know, he has secured 2 dragons so far. Also
Yeah,
a
and
big
what-
plus compared to the Exile.
And what he did in that last fight was he followed Vhagar and they 2v1'd the Lux, which is a great idea, I feel, because Winboy has been, as we saw in the last game, he was a monster for his team, and I feel like if Lux is alive, if Jinx is alive, they will clean up the fights, but if you zone them out or chunk them hard, there's the Jinx rocket. Unfortunately, not going to grab that blue buff there, but hey, it's worth the try. I don't mind that Jinx ult at all.
It's alright, not the best, but I mean, you
It's
gotta
worth the
take
try,
these.
I feel. I feel like if you hit it, it's like, yes, definitely, and if you miss it, it's like, you know what? I'd really probably not going to use my ult in the next minute or so. I should be okay, because basically Jinx is just farming in bot lane right now. Like, they're not really looking to make anything crazy happen, so I think that it's worth the cooldown to try for that steal.
I still feel it's a little bit of a waste, but that's just because, you know, of timing. Then again, we are the commentators, and honestly, I'd probably just straight up miss the blue buff and accidentally hit Wolf
But that's the thing, is I
somehow.
feel like it was a calculated timing window. They realized you were probably not going to fight for the next minute or so. This is a perfect time to blow that ultimate. If I miss it, it's not really going to be the end of the world. Like, they're not looking to kill these guys in bot lane. They're looking to just wave clear right now, and they can kind of play around that. So it's really not the most punishable cooldown use by Jinx, and it's going to be up here in the next like 20 seconds or so, and really will have no kind of bad effect on them. But here's Lee.
Here he is, the Chilling Smite going down, but there's the ultimate from Otami going in. No, the Elastic Slingshot going to miss, but that Flash ultimate will not. Huni taken incredibly low, but once he gets underneath that tower, he is okay.
Yeah.
The Exile just does not have the damage to pick up that kill.
And I don't mind that at all. I like how Exile had kind of flashbacks from the first turret dive and was like, no, it's fine, it's totally fine. Great job by Fiora forcing Shen away there, and they're going to be able to grab this turret. So that's what I like to see, is even though you don't get the kill, take the turret. You did gain an advantage. Don't feel like just because you didn't get the kill, you didn't do your job. They more than did their job right there, and are rewarded with the first turret of the game.
At almost 20 minutes in, my gosh, this is going incredibly slowly. However, Xiao Longsun not too displeased with that, although he is taking a fair amount of damage now. Like you said, just 1 Q, and that's a lot of damage right to the face.
Yeah, and Lux actually, we saw from last game, Winboy actually going for the Ionian Boots of Lucidity, the cooldown boots, instead of that Magic Pen, but he's going for that straight Magic Pen. He wants to blow people up, and that's my style as well. It's like, see, yeah, oh my god.
Good flash, but that Q isn't going to last forever, and here comes Huni. The barrier isn't going to save him. Xiao Longsun going to use that ultimate to pick up the kill. A bit of overkill, but I mean, that kills the kill.
Yeah, and to be honest, I feel like Winboy could have saved both those summoner spells right there. I mean, the flash was okay, but I feel like the barrier was a bit of a waste. I mean, there was the potential he could have escaped, but really where he was on the map, there was no teammates to back him up. You could kind of assume that Shen was walking down there as well. I feel like he could have held on to those summoner spells, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's really hard to do kind of much once you get jumped like that as Lux out of position currently.
I mean, she's not a... Well, she's an incredibly immobile mage.
Yeah, she's about as immobile as you get.
But she's got a good amount of range and a good amount of tools to keep her alive. So she's still doing okay. 1-2, definitely not the best score, but she's holding her own against someone as powerful as Vhagar. And when it comes down to it, the utility that she offers is still more than enough. However, ping is coming down now for Dragon, about to spawn in the next 20 seconds.
And there's
What
Vhagar
is this
using
next
the
team fight
TP.
going to be?
Vhagar's just been straight TPing back to lane every single time, which is not the worst thing, and that's partially why he's probably ahead in CS right now, is he's been just spending no downtime back at base. But he's also finished his Zhonya's as well, which is going to be really strong for the next team fight. As we see Otami just pushing in right now, which is exactly what I want to see from the top laner. Push in, force Shen back, and then you can TP down or just continue up there in top and take that turret. Whatever you feel like is more beneficial for your team, whether you guys want to fight or whether you guys want to take objectives. And right now, with the stalling they're doing, they're just getting something for nothing right now. I was going to say, yeah, they need to start the dragon immediately.
Oh, this is very, very scary. The reverse scale taking a good amount of damage. There's the ult. The Event Horizon will stop Exile, but it's not going to stop him from fighting. Taking that dragon. Here comes Otami into the back, but at the same time, Miro is coming on in. There's the ult, but Otami going right for it. The Event Horizon cutting off all kind of escape. Oh, that wasn't the Vigar ult onto Otami. Not really doing too much, but the slow. Will it stop Miro? No. Well, sort of. Kind of, but the Event Horizon as well. Just playing such a large role in this fight. 3 times Xiao Longsan's been able to get it off, and 3 times it has stopped the enemy team. It stopped Crucial from coming in right when they needed to. And that is amazing. Is he actually leveling it second? Yes, he is. I guess there's no reason to level Dark Matter since at this point it is still a 1-to-1 scaling, I believe.
Yeah, and they might be able to, crucial that is, grab the turret after that team fight right there. They did have a small timing window where everybody from Something's Wrong here is back at base, and that's usually what you want to see. Lux just feeling free to burn that ultimate there. It's a super short cooldown. Even though she doesn't have the CDR boots, it's still super short, and she's going to burn that minion wave, trying to get as much CS and map pressure as possible because she knows now her team has to back, and that opens a timing window for Something's Wrong here to push back and potentially grab another turret. So Lux is actually going to stay on the map with Fiora and try and just wave clear for the time being so they don't lose any objectives in this small opening.
Still, I'm very, very scared of this Vigar. It always comes back to this Vigar. He played a large role, even without the damage, in that last team fight. It was just Event Horizon after Event Horizon after Event Horizon. And while his Primordial Blast probably went on to one of the least effective targets he could. Well, not the least effective, but it wasn't as powerful as if it had hit Nguyen Boy. Still, he keeps on getting stronger, he keeps on getting bigger, and even if his ultimate does not land onto someone with a good amount of AP like Nguyen Boy, it still has a 1-to-1 ratio and is a guaranteed hit. And that is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw in the last fight there, when the front line of Crucial went down, it was kind of tricky for them to play that team fight. They didn't really have anyone to kind of soak up the damage and be that sort of like dividing wall for them, basically. They were kind of just kiting back and forth. So it does show kind of cracks in the armor of Crucial and opportunities for Something's Wrong here to actually make plays on this. And like you said, man, that Vigar is farming real well. He's 2-0-0 and he's just only going to get stronger. So if they keep playing these kind of razor-thin team fights, it could be any one of these times where Something's Wrong here pulls off a nice Event Horizon and just starts blowing people up, wins the team fights, and starts pushing objectives. Because I really feel like as we get into kind of 25 to 30 minutes or so, I feel like these are when the team fights are actually making big differences. And once a team does grab that fight, they're going to be pushing down objectives extremely quickly. Good rotations coming so far from Crucial. They're going to try and trap Mordekaiser.
It's not going to happen, though. That ward just going to catch out almost all members of Crucial as they show up on the bot lane, looking to take that last outer tower away from Something Is Wrong. Are they actually going to be able to get it? A nice Dark Binding, but lands onto reverse scale. Once again, not really a primary target here. And instead, Something's Wrong. Just going to sit here, soak up a little bit of that minion experience, that health. Are they actually going to go in reverse scale using the Pulverize? Not able to get the headbutt off. Event Horizon has been blown. I mean, everyone's flexing their muscles, but nothing's happening.
I was going to say, I can't remember the last time I've seen a kind of 5 versus 5, I mean it's 5v4 I guess, but a full team siege in the bot lane on the first tier turrets like this at 25 minutes. I think I've never seen this before. It's a weird spot to siege, but good job for doing wave clear from Something's Wrong here, allowing them to keep that turret. But here comes Fiora in mid. They need to stop this rotation right now.
I mean, you've still got Miru. He's got his teleport. Xiao Longsan has his teleport as well. They're obviously not too worried about it, and instead looking to kind of pinch them. But it is Something's Wrong who's going to get pinched instead. The Dark Binding is going to land on Huni, and the Elastic String are going to get off before he even gets inside the wall. And now the fight has broken out. Otami doing what he can to pick up the kill, but it's Huni who is going to go down first. Reverse scaling using his ultimate to the best visibility to stay alive. Oh, Tommy, so close to death, but he makes it out alive. Double kill for Jinx, and the resets are happening. Brachiosaurus dealing a lot of damage, but is not enough to keep him alive. Zhao Longsun trying to get that kill onto the Exile, but it is unsuccessful. And as bruised and battered as they are, Crucial make it out of there with everyone still alive on the tank. Zhao Longsun forced back, so is Miro. They both got teleport, however, so if they continue to push past this tower, Crucial might run into a bit of a problem. But they're
going to bail. Yeah, very smart right there. And this is what I always talk about in pick comms. They always talk about, like, how does this team come back? How do they close out this game? The answer is most often push side lanes, get up wards in the enemy jungle, and then create picks when you out-rotate them. That's exactly what Crucial did right there. They rotated first to bot lane, created the siege, then rotated Fiora back up to mid to push in, and that created Lee Sin split up from his team. They already had wards set up in the jungle in the path that the team was going to rotate through. They catch the Lee Sin out with their multitude of pick potential, basically. They start the fight on their terms, and that's how they win the team fights. Really great proactive play from Crucial right there, entirely set up with vision as well as rotations around the map and pushing in waves, creating map pressure in one place, rotating to another, and then trying to catch people as they follow you and they're a step or two behind, which is exactly what you want to do. Proactive play from Crucial. Very impressed so far.
Now up 5k gold. Reverse scale trying to get something down here. The Event Horizon almost going to land onto Nguyen Boy, but Otami is around to provide some kind of fear. Now, switching back down to around Dragon Pit, you've got Brachiosaurus and Huni down there looking to get something, but instead we see Crucial gathering up here, trying to get this dragon before any kind of reaction can come out from Reverse Scale. Here comes the Shen ultimate. Zhao Longsun has teleported in. They are ready to fight. Reverse Scale taken incredibly well. The reverse, the Event Horizon going to keep the rest of the team alive, and this is going to be the dragon going over. Where's the smite coming out? There it is! Uni steals the dragon, but pays for it with his life. Oh, Garvin doing what he can to stay alive against Miru, and he is going to be able to stay alive thanks to the support from the rest of the team. Nguyen Boy going to take out Brachiosaurus Rex before he is taken bull, before he loses line, but that is going to end up being an ace for Crucial as they take out Zhao Longsun, and, well, no one else, actually. Everyone else is dead. Time to go there, boys.
Yeah, that was a great dragon steal from Huni, but the problem is you know what? It's probably not worth it to steal that dragon because the team fight is going to be cleaned up if you overextend like that and die. You saw Miru go after Jinx there, but when it's only the Shen and the Shen is just pure damage, he's just a CC bot. He doesn't have the kills. This is what I was talking about before, where Fiora can snowball so hard and she can murder people by herself. Shen needs the team there. He didn't have the team following up, and the Garvin did have the team following up. Exile peeled for him, and everybody was able to pick up kills and then just force the fight down from there. This is one of those situations where you have to make the call to say, you know what, let's give up this dragon. Even if we do want to contest it, contest the team fight. Don't contest the dragon. It's more than worth it for you guys to give up your their second dragon of the game to Crucial in order to survive the team fight or potentially create an advantage for you guys, because they're far enough behind in gold right now that dragons number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are not worth anything, because if you lose a team fight, the game is going to be really hard to come back from, and that's where we find something's wrong here at right now currently.
I mean, they traded off the dragon buff for a Baron buff. You tell me which is better.
Plus a bunch of gold as well from acing their entire team right there. There's just so, and that's why I like when you see the LCS and stuff right now, sorry, Worlds right now, where they show that kind of Baron power shift, because it's such a gold shift. It's a 10k advantage right now for Crucial, and they were not even remotely close to that right now. Now they're going to try and use that Baron buff to push in right here, but they don't have Zac and Lux here yet. I want them to be kind of calm and just wait and relax and slowly push in, but Otami getting very aggressive, and this could be something wrong here, is a chance to create a pick potentially and maybe come back in this game, because that's the only thing they can do right now is fight on uneven numbers, is they create picks with vision and set up, catch someone out of position. That's their only hope.
Otami is the person to try and pick off too. He's relatively squishy, and yet he provides such a large role. Meanwhile, on bottom, that Dark Binding, wow. I swear, it is one of the most powerful abilities of the game. Locking down Brachiosaurus long enough, followed up with the Chompers, that nets them a kill, that nets them a tower, and it looks like they're just going to keep on pushing. Nguyen Boy taking incredibly low, but he's going to stay alive thanks to the barrier. The laser coming out, not going to get the kill onto Huni, but he is... Reverse skill has that ultimate going. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive, though? That is the question of the day, and it is, but just barely. Tommy now in the middle of the fray, taking incredibly low. The Soul Shackle's not going to get land onto anyone, but Garmin is still going to get the kill there. Windboy dodging around Uni, going to make it out alive with a kill, and this is going to be crucial. With 2 members of Something's Wrong here down for the count. This is a tower. This is an inhibitor. And that Baron buff really paying out dividends for them.
Yeah, Crucial is so strong at making these tiny little, like, micro adjustments. Like we saw right there under turret, the binding landed by Morgana, and Jinx used her kit perfectly. It was Rocket, W to keep the zap in place, and the traps were shot immediately after the W, so as soon as the Morgana binding's down, they land the slow from the zap. As soon as the zap slow is done, the traps activate, and he's locked in there, and then he shoots the ultimate, so as soon as the traps are done, you get hit by the Jinx rocket. There's nothing you can do. And then Windboy in that 1v1 against Huni just barely missed the skill shot, but Windboy landed it, and then he had the presence of mind to land the auto attack before popping his E for the extra passive damage, allowing the E to be the last hit right there. I am so impressed with Crucial. Something's Wrong here is playing extremely well, and Crucial is just kind of matching them and outmatching them at every turn.
Some intense stuff. Oh my gosh. I honestly did not expect the game to swing this way at all. As soon as I saw the Mordekaiser and the Viger, I was like, well, I'm gonna vote for a certain team here, and it's probably gonna be the one who's really strong.
That's been the cool thing about Crucial all day, is they've been kind of content to give up these OP picks, these power picks, these really kind of high ban percentage picks, because they're comfortable playing against them. They're like, you know what? It's strong, but we know how to deal with it. And so far, 7-0-6 on Jinx compared to the 1-4-0 on Mordekaiser. His farm is ahead of hers, but you know what? If you're not transitioning that farm to kills and assists and objectives for your team, it's not that great, unfortunately, and Jinx is actually going into the, going to pick up, I think she's picking up a Spirit Visage or something, because she's got the Crystalline Bracer on top of that Spectre's Cowl, so going very defensive as well, which I really like to see that from that Jinx, because we saw before, as long as Jinx stays alive, she will clean up these fights, and this is the time right now.
Speaking of fights, Miru going on in, but he is taken down incredibly low as the fight just barely begins. Reverse scale, incredibly low, and it looks like he might go down here, but the rocket is going to miss. Tommy now pushed out of the base. The Mordekaiser is right on his face, but it doesn't look like Rockosaurus has the damage. And speaking of damage, Garmin going to get hit by that Primordial Blast, but it is not going to be enough to do anything to him. Miru has gone down, but that is the only casualty so far. The Exile is incredibly low, but it looks like Crucial are just going to go for these Nexus Towers. They're just going to try to end the game as quickly as possible. Xiaolong's son going to do what he can to lock up the team. Is it going to be enough, though? They've only got the Nexus, but my god! Mace of Spades doing incredible amounts of damage. However, it's only going to net him 1 kill as the Zac passive is still up. Now Xiaolong's unlocked up, but he is not going to go down. However, the Nexus is, and that is going to be the final match of the game, going down in favor of Crucial.
Wow, yeah, what a game. Extremely high caliber play right there. But once again, Crucial, just great teamwork, great individual play, great like kind of micro mechanics like I was talking about before with the Lux passive with the auto there, the Jinx using their spells. They train their CC together so well. Really, really impressive team. And of course, Something's Wrong here. Played a great game as well, and they're not going home empty-handed at all. 1200 RP plus 4-win IP boost for everybody on their team, but of course, Crucial going home with our first place prize, 1600 RP each, triumphant rise for everybody, and 4-win IP boosts on top of that. So congratulations to Crucial. Extremely well played games all so far this, or all the way through this tournament, excuse me. And I'm just so impressed by their entire team. They're great games to watch. I had so much fun casting them. Thank you guys so much for watching and playing and listening and all this kind of cool stuff. We're the Random Championship Series. Our website is randomcs.com. Our next tournament is going to be an ARAM tournament next Friday. We host them every Friday. If you go to randomcs.com and click on the Register tab, then the League of Legends button right there, you'll see all of our upcoming League of Legends tournaments, all free to enter, all with RP prizes and cool stuff like that. Thank you guys so much. Earthkey, anything to say before we call it a night here?
Nope. Go brush your teeth. Go to bed. I'm out.
Yeah, everybody get some rest. Great job, guys. That was such a fun tournament to cast. I hope you guys had fun playing in it and watching it, and we'll be back next week. Once again, we're the Random Championship Series. Our website is randomcs.com. My name is Streetball. You can follow me on Twitter at Streetball. I also do coaching. You can go to randomcs.com/Streetball. It'll take you to my coaching page. Casting alongside the wonderful Earthkey. He'll, of course, be back to cast more awesome tournaments with us. Always glad to have him. Thank you guys so much. I had a great time, and we'll see you guys next week.
Just come back